Hi everyone, it's Chloe here and I'm the owner, maker and creator of Emmy Creations. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I won't be crocheting, I won't be doing my usual small businessy stuff, but instead I'm going to be learning a new craft, and that is punch needling. So I'm really excited about this. I recently saw someone's page. I forgot what their account is, but they just popped up on my Instagram and they were showing showing a lot of their punch needling projects, and I got really inspired and just really curious about this craft. So I thought I would go and purchase some of those materials and try it out myself. So I spent the last couple of weeks just researching and understanding this new craft, figuring out the different materials I need and the tools that I need in order to create a little piece of art through punch needling. And I'm really excited about this because I've just been working really hard for the last 2 months, fulfilling orders and creating new designs, and I just need a break from crochet. And you know that, and I always say this all the time, I don't crochet all the time. I do try and find ways to, explore other crafts, because I am a crafter at the end of the day and I can't be doing just one craft all the time. So I'm going to turn my camera around just to show you the things that I bought. I kind of started because I got really excited and I thought, oh, I should really share this journey with you guys. So I'm going to turn the camera around and just show you what I've done and what I've bought, and I'm going to start punching. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I've just turned my camera around and I think I'll just show you the main things that I realized that is needed for punch needling. So the first thing is obviously the punch needle. Hopefully you can see this, but I got the smaller size only because after a little bit of research, depending on your yarn size, then the needle head needs to be a particular size as well. So this particular brand I got is Lavor, and they have other punch needles as well, but I just went with this one. It does come with 3 sizes. So I chose the middle size because I realized that's the best size for the yarn that I'm going to use, which is my usual cotton 8-ply yarn. But then there's also a thinner one which probably would work for maybe a 4-ply yarn, which I don't really have, or I have some, but I might give it a go. I'm assuming depending on the yarn weight, and also I don't even know what this is called, the needle, what the thickness of the needle, your project would come out a little different. So yeah, I'm going to be working with the middle size. I don't know how many mils that this is. Yeah, the packaging doesn't really say, but yeah, so I'll be working with this one. What's really great about this is that you can adjust the height of the needle. So I measured this to be 2.5 because after a lot of research, a lot of people do put their needle at around 2 to 2.5 for the particular project that I'm thinking about. So it is adjustable. You just need to twist this little handle here, and then you just, adjust the height of the needle, and you just twist it again just to tighten it, and so that the needle is held in place. But yeah, this is obviously really important to have if you're trying punch needling. And also inside, it also comes with a piece of really thin wire. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. But I'm assuming the wire is to help with the threading through the yarn, through the needle, because the holes are quite small. So I'm assuming this is what the wire is going to help us with. So I might just need to do a little YouTube video just to see how to thread the yarn in. But this is the first thing that I bought, which is the punch needle itself, which is very cool. Okay. So the next tool I'm going to show you is a snap frame. So it's really easy. You basically just put your material on top, which I've done here, and you just snap these extra parts of the frame on top of it, and then you just tighten it by twisting the outsides outwards, and then that way that will tighten the fabric. So the fabric that I'm using is a 100% linen fabric. I did a lot of research into what type of fabric is best for this size of a needle, and it turns out that the linen would be the best option in this case. A lot of people do say that you should try monk. I forgot what it's called, but it's a monk fabric or something. Anyways, but I found that the holes in that fabric was a little bit too big for this particular needle that I'm using. So I decided to use the linen, and I also followed a few designers who are experts in punch needling, and a few of them use cotton or linen, and so I just went ahead and just bought some linen at my local craft store. So yeah, the other two is the snap frame and the linen. I also just in the background designed some digital designs that I will try and create through punch needling. So I think I kind of went easy, medium, hard. So obviously I'm going to start with the easier one first, and I think you can see that I've already traced it. I don't know if you can, yes, there you go, you can see it. I've already traced it onto my fabric with a pencil. So I am hoping that the details aren't too small and that my punch needle will be able to fill in those little details. But yeah, so that is what I've done. And I've also chosen the yarn for my very first project. And this is just the usual yarn that I use, which is the Flinders yarn, which I purchased from my local Spotlight store. And I'm just using like a vintagey pink color and mustard yellow and an off-white color for my first project. But yeah, so I am quite prepared. I think I honestly I can't exaggerate enough how much research I've done, but I'm really excited to get this started and see how this goes. So yeah, let's get punching, I guess. Okay, so one thing that I have noticed using the snap frame is that as I punch, the fabric does kind of move in, so I have to constantly tighten the fabric. I don't know if that is something that can affect the punch needling, but that's definitely something that I've noticed while I've been punching. So I don't know if this is a perfect circle still. So I guess it's still round, so it's still okay. But I guess that's something to be mindful of if you're planning to use the snap frame. But yeah, I have seen other people use a timber frame and they staple the fabric onto that, but I think that process is really long. The other one is using the hoop, so I might give that a go and see how that is. But yeah, this just keeps sliding a little bit, and I'm just constantly tightening it and just making sure it doesn't lose its shape. But yeah, I'm just gonna put the new color in, but I think it's looking pretty good. I'm actually quite pleased with how I'm going with this. And another thing is that I started to do the eyes first, and then I realized that the detail was too small, so I just decided to scrap the eyes or the facial features. But I think if I was to do something a little bit bigger, then I should be able to do or to add those features on. But because it's quite small, this is like a 10 centimeter in diameter, so yeah, I think if I doubled it in size, then I definitely could do the features. But I'm quite happy to leave out the features for this little test. Okay, so on to the last color. Okay, it's all done. Not bad for a first time. I think one thing for sure is in terms of this design, I probably should have drawn it a little bit clearer, because I noticed that my petals for my flower did not really, I guess, they're not very symmetrical. Like you can see this top one, it's a little bit lopsided, and this one's a little bit bigger, and yeah, so I think that's just as me. But in terms of the punch needling, I think I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. So I think I just need to practice a little bit more. I don't know, I might gift these as little coasters to people who, you know, I guess move into a new home or something, or I'll keep them for myself to use as coasters as well. But yeah, this has been really quite fun. So I'm going to make a few more so that I don't waste the fabric. But essentially what I would do next is that I will cut them up into their little sizes, and then I will glue the backing. Because if I don't glue it down, I can easily just pull each of these threads out and it will just unravel. So I definitely need to put some glue. So I might use some fabric glue, which I have at home, and then I'll put a piece of thick felt on the back. I actually ordered some cork to stick on the back, but they haven't arrived yet because I got too eager with trying this out. So I am going to see how I go with the sunflower design next and see if my skills improve. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will show you the next stages. Okay guys, so I did my second one in the background, and it is looking much rounder than this one. I think what I did wrong with this one was that I didn't draw a perfect circle perfectly, which is probably why it's gone a little wonky. So I don't know, I'm still deciding if I want to try this again, like try this design again, but I'm just going to keep moving on. So, but the sunflower one's looking good. I'm quite pleased with this one. One thing I did notice is like when I punch the needle in, sometimes it loops into other loops that it's made, and so I kind of had to go through and unloop them and just clean it up and fix it up a little bit. So this is a moment here where I don't know what's happened, but probably because I didn't draw it properly, this petal's gone a little wonky and this one's gone a little bit fat. So, but all the other ones look good, so I think I just need to keep practicing. But anyways, I'm gonna make this one next and see if my skills improve, because it's definitely improved from this one, and I've made adjustments for this one so it looks a bit better, and now I'm just going to try something a little bit more detailed and see what happens. Again, I'm not going to do the facial features, I'm just going to do the sun and the cloud, and that's it. So I guess let's see how we go. Okay, sun and the cloud is done, and I think my skills have improved, but my hand is starting to cramp up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day on punching needles, and probably go back to crocheting, but I might just let my hand rest a little bit. But I'm going to start again tomorrow to make the very last one, and that might be a redo of this one, only because I know, I really messed up this one a little bit because it's a little bit wonky. So I'm gonna maybe try this one again, or I might just quickly design one now on the computer and print the template out. I won't trace it on just yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Only because I feel like if I trace it too early, then the fabric might loosen up or something, and then it will go wonky again. Because I think the reason why this one messed up was because I traced it the night before, and then I did it today, and I think because the fabric wasn't stretched properly, or wasn't the same anymore, that it just, you know, went elongated a little bit. So I'm gonna probably go on the computer, design a new one for this one, and see how we go tomorrow. But I'm quite pleased with how this one turned out. It's round at least, and the little loops came out really nicely. But obviously I feel like there could be more improvements. But yeah, I'm gonna, oh, let me just show you the other side. A little messy, but it doesn't look too bad. I noticed that when I did my research that some people use this side instead of this side. I guess it just depends on your project. But yeah, I'm interested to try to do a project where I'm using both sides maybe. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day on this, and then I'm going to start again tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day. So yesterday I ended up doing 3 on the snap frame. But last night I actually decided to have a go at trying punch needling on the hoop. So I just found my old embroidery hoop. And yes, it's Totoro. I decided to make a Totoro, and I think my skills have really improved on my 4th one. So, but yeah, I just want to try it on the hoop and see which one was better, because like I said yesterday, when I use the snap frame, the fabric does slide, and I'm constantly pulling, like twisting these back to tighten the fabric. With the hoop, I actually felt like the fabric moved less. It did move a little bit, but I think that was because I didn't tighten the hoop enough. But yeah, the movement wasn't as much as the snap frame. So if I was to, I guess, choose between the hoop or the snap frame, I probably would prefer the hoop. However, the only problem with the hoop is that it's round, and it means I can only fit, and I checked last night, I can only fit 3 projects on this, and also waste a little bit of fabric, whereas the square one, I can fit 4 projects. I'm wondering if there is a square version of this kind of hoop. I think there might be. But if there is, I probably would buy the square version of this, only because the fabric does not move as much as the snap frame one. I'm also wondering if I was to make a, let's say, a pillowcase or something, or like a little bag, like a square bag, then this probably would be better just because of the shape. But yeah, with well, regardless, I probably would still use the snap frame, just with the knowledge that I have to constantly tighten the fabric while I do the punch needling. But anyways, so last night I did an extra one only because I think I'm a little bit obsessed with punch needling now. I didn't end up crocheting. I ended up doing more punch needling. But yeah, so I guess my plan for today is to fill up this corner, and then I will cut each of the coasters up, and then I'll just show you what I'll do with probably my fugly one because I'll probably just keep that for myself. It doesn't look terrible, it's just not round, so I'll probably keep that for myself and use that as a coaster for myself, and see what happens. I've also was thinking last night that, and also talking to my husband about this too, whether I should probably start selling these too on my store, selling the finished coaster and also selling the digital pattern for these coasters, because I do design them myself. And also last night I kind of just went ahead, and so you probably would have seen a little short video just a few minutes ago of me creating a new flower design, but I also last night continued to make more Studio Ghibli designs because I am obsessed with them, and my hubby also gave me the inspiration to make or design more. So these are the Totoro ones, and these are the Spirited Away ones, which I think are my favorite. So I need to find time to do these, but hopefully I can probably share with you, probably on my socials, so my Instagram, to show you the finished make. So probably won't be able to make all of these for this particular video, but at least I can show you a Totoro. I might do, let's see, maybe I'll do no face for the last one on that square, and see how that goes. But yeah, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and get started, and hopefully I can finish this corner in probably an hour or two, and then we will start cutting them up and gluing the backs together. Okay guys, I've just had to move into the bedroom because my husband's having a meeting, but these are the ones that I made on the snap frame, and I am quite happy with them. I really love my no face design. I had to clean up the yarn a little bit though. So one thing I've realized by doing the punch needling is that sometimes as you punch, some loops get looped into each other. So when I finished punching, my arms were all like these arms were all over the place. I had to use a little small sharp tool just to move the yarn around and just to get it in the right position. So I think that's definitely something to be mindful of. Same with the face, it was a little bit messy and I just had to move the yarn around and clean it up. But once it's all cleaned up, it definitely looks a lot better. So I kind of did the same for the others as well, just cleaning up the shape and just making sure that no loops are looped in on each other, especially where the color changes. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just cut these up into size and then glue the backs. I might just glue a felt back for this one, just to show you what I'm planning to do with the others. Like I said before, I ordered some cork coasters so that I can stick at the back because I feel like it will be more sturdy. But I do have some felt that I can use to stick on this one, since this one's a bit of a oopsie one. But yeah, I'm actually really proud of I guess the improvement I had from the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one, and then the Totoro one, and then finally No Face. So definitely practice really helps. So yeah, this has been really fun. So I'm gonna go and grab a pair of scissors and just cut these up into shape. And then I'll heat up my glue gun and start sticking the backs on. Okay guys, so here is my finished coaster. I've put the felt backing on the back and I'm really liking how this looks, even though this is my oopsie one because it's not perfectly round. It's a bit of an egg shape actually, but it's still usable, so I will use this for myself. But just having a closer look, I just noticed a few things that I can improve on, which I have with my other designs. So one thing for sure is to make sure that the loops are consistent. So I noticed that some of my loops are shorter than other loops, and I can just see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some tiny baby loops. I just, oh, let's see, nope, 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 nope. Okay, no, can't see it, but there's like really short loops in here. And I think the reason for that is because as I was punching, the yarn got tighter because it was rolled up in a ball. And because it got tighter, the loops kind of pulled back a little bit too much. So I think that's why some of the loops are shorter than my other loops. So I think one thing that I did differently with the other ones was really loosening up all the yarn just to make sure that there is no tightening of the yarn as you're punching. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you're interested to do something like this. The other thing is when I was cutting the fabric, I wasn't really using proper fabric scissors. So that's probably something I need to go and purchase. It was very hard to cut really close to where the loops were. So I definitely need to go and purchase some proper fabric scissors because that will definitely make my life a lot easier. The other thing is the gluing. So I realized as I was sticking the felt on the back of this was that I put a little bit too much glue on the edge, and as I pressed the felt on the back, it's kind of just leaked some out or squeezed some of the excess glue out onto the edge, which is not a very clean finish. So if I was to do that differently, I definitely would probably just put most of the glue in the center, and as I press the felt down, then the glue will just spread across, and that way I won't have any excess leaking out on the edge. So that's another thing. The other thing is in terms of the snap frame and the hoop, I definitely would choose the hoop over the snap frame. Only because as I was finishing off the No Face one, I just honestly just kept tightening, and I felt like that was taking a little bit more time than necessary. I did time myself making the no face, and it took me an hour and a half. So it didn't take that long, but I feel like if I didn't have to constantly tighten my snap frame, then I probably would have cut probably 10-20 minutes off punching. So I definitely will probably go with the hoop. With that being said, the hoop does only make 3 compared to the snap frame that I got that can make 4. But yeah, honestly, I guess depending if you if you care about wasting fabric or not, but if you prefer a smooth process of punching and not needing to constantly pull your fabric, then I definitely suggest using the hoop frame. I actually saw online as well that people have this, they make their own timber frame and they staple their fabric onto the frame, which seems to be much sturdier, but the setup process takes a little bit longer because you are stapling the fabric onto the frame. And also in terms of removing the fabric off the frame, it takes time to take the staples out as well in order to get the fabric free. So I guess there's always pros and cons for different frames to use, but I don't have a timber frame, so I couldn't really test that out. So I just tested out the snap and the hoop. But yeah, definitely prefer the hoop. And another thing is in terms of the needle and the yarn, always make sure that you do check the weight of the yarn against the needle. So prior to testing this out, I did do a little test run of each of the needle sizes and different yarn weights. Not that I have a lot, but yeah, so testing that out definitely helped me realize which yarn to use against which needle. So in terms of yarn, I just use my typical yarn that I use for my crochet toys, and that's just the 8-ply 100% cotton yarn, and it's usually the Flinders yarn that I get from Spotlight. Otherwise, any other 8-ply cotton yarn works with the needle head that I used, which was the second size in that pack. I couldn't fit the yarn in the smaller size, and also the larger size, the hole was too big when I punched in, and then the yarn just came out straight away. So that's why you just need to make sure to do a test run first before you go into a project. But otherwise, I think that is all I have to say in summary of learning this new craft. I really enjoyed this, and I honestly think I will be doing or making more of these, and I'm hoping that when the cork comes in, I will be able to, you know, make proper coasters and share it on my social media, and maybe potentially start selling them, selling the digital file and also selling the physical item. I do wonder like how much I can make because my focus is still crochet, but I do want to branch out to other fiber arts, and this is definitely one of them. So I guess this is a first step in one of the things I want to achieve for 2023, and that was learning another fiber art. So I'm hoping to learn another one soon, or maybe do another project with another form of fiber art and see how that goes. But so far, punch needling, tick, I have done that and I'm very happy, and I definitely want to go ahead and finish off my other designs that I drew up last night. Okay, anyways, my camera just glitched a little bit, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and following my journey of learning a new craft. If you have any questions about punch needling, just let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer them with my limited knowledge. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more amazing videos I have planned for the future, definitely press the subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you all very soon, and have a nice day. Bye!